This is barn doors part 6. This is actually the header of the frame. I'm just marking it out. I've measured the doors are 700 each, and I leave a 3mm gap down each side and a 4mm gap where they join. So it'll be 1410 or 1 metre 410. What I've done there is I've put a stopper on the saw so it'll only go down a certain depth. This is actually a 6x3 timber, and I think I've cut the rebates for the side of the frame or the jambs at about 30mm deep. I normally just do them 10mm. It would normally be a 6x2, but I've used a 6x3. There's no support above the doors, so I've thickened up the frame. There's no weight on it. It's being fixed to an oak beam, so. But I just thought I'd thicken up the header. What I've done, I've cut the first cut one end, and then I'll measure off that cut and cut the first cut this end. You can cut these on the table saw with a dado stack blade, either on a crosscut sled or a mitre gauge on the table saw. But I'm just going to run this, put a few cuts through, and then chisel it out. And then I'll clean it up with the trimmer. I haven't got the part where I fix the actual jambs to this, but you'll see how it goes together. All you do is you glue and then screw down through the top into the side frames. See, that's the thickness of the jambs, so I'm just using that as a mark. I could measure it, but that's an off cut off one of them, so I'll just use that as a mark. I'll probably cut, I don't know, 4, 5, maybe 6 cuts in that, and then I'll just knock it out of a chisel. It's only the 2 outer side cuts that you need to be accurate, just so the frame sits tight into the groove. Once you've done that, you can just roughly chop the rest out. You see, that's the 2 cuts, the outside cuts. I'm just checking that it's wide enough. just chopping out a bit more there. A bit less for the trimmer to do. See that piece on the end, the extra bit, that will probably be chopped off, depending on the opening. You normally leave a 10mm clearance gap around the stud frame opening, so you could cut it right off. Once it's screwed and glued and the glue's dried, you can cut that right off, but at the moment that just helps hold it all square. So you just leave it on until it goes out on site. And just cut it off with an handsaw or a skill saw. So just cleaning it up with a trimmer, just so it sits nice and straight. When you fit the jambs to this, I'll normally assemble it in the workshop before it goes out on site. So I'll put the jambs on, then brace the bottom so they're dead parallel. Then I would hang the doors in the frame, fix stop beads, cut some architrave, and it'll all go out as a kit. It just makes it easier. It's easier to do as much in the workshop than doing it out on site. Just cleaning that one up. I haven't moved the depth on the trimmer, so both jambs are cut exactly the same length. Once they go in there, it'll leave about 10mm clearance at the bottom for the doors to swing nicely. If it's a little bit too high or you don't need that, then you can just cut a bit more off the bottom of each jamb, so the doors sit tight to the floor. Right, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching.